Hey, it's Dr. C. Thank you for joining me again. We're going to have a little different program today. It's going to be basically on all of the real small muscles, all of which involve issues in the elderly. So obviously, when we talk about balance, which is what basically we're here for, balance too, you need vision, you need hearing, and you need all the little peripheral nerves that tell you where you are in relationship to the environment. Can't do a heck of a lot about the hearing. Can't do too much about the external nerve endings, although vagal stimulation helps, and we'll go over that. But mostly it's vision. So we're going to talk specifically about those three things: vision, hearing, and peripheral nerves. And then we're going to talk about osteoarthritis, which affects people mostly in the hands. Of course, it affects in other extremities as well, but mostly in the hands. And so we'll talk about that and the exercises that we can do in the hands to try to at least make it a little easier for people to live with their arthritis. Okay, let's get on with it. Now, for the eye portion, I'm going to remove my glasses. So now I can't see squat, but nevertheless, you can see me, which is the important thing. There are some exercises we can do for the muscles of the eyes. We don't do it as much. In fact, we probably don't do it at all. If you did exercises for your eyes during your teenage years and all, you probably wouldn't even be wearing glasses, believe it or not. But we didn't know how important all those little muscles were and that they do deteriorate with age as well. And so, what can we do? It will help a little. It isn't going to take away your glasses. It isn't going to do anything. You're too old for that now. But these are all of the basic exercises for the tiny muscles and for the bigger muscles of the eye. Good. What do we do? Let's say that the eyelids come down. And if they come down enough so that they begin to impede a little on the pupil, it can affect your vision. So what do we do in order to help strengthen that muscle in the eyelid? Two things we can do. Number one, blinks. So what we do is we're going to do 10 blinks, 1 second rest, and 10 blinks. Here we go. 1, a second, taking a breath, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. You should do 20 of those twice a day. That helps. Okay. What else can we do with our eyes? Remember, there's circular muscles around the eyes. So you want to contract, relax, contract, expand. So what do? We tighten them up and then open them as wide as you can. Tighten, open, 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 tighten, open. One more, tighten, open. Okay, those are all muscles of the eye. What else can we do? Well, what we can do, let me just check my cheat sheet. I always have to check my cheat sheet because as we get older, let's face it, it happens to all of us. We're going to use our index finger. We're going to hold that index finger out about 1 foot. That is narrow. That's our close-up vision, about 1 foot. Distance vision is anything in further out, we'll say. That's distance. This is up close. You focus on that finger. Now bring that finger in until you begin to see two, and then bring it back out. That's called convergence. You used to call them cross eyes. Bring them in, bring it out. Let's do one more. Bring it in, bring it out. So we practice that. That stretches and on the muscles that make the eyes converge. Now, a lot of times, well, all the time now, the kids and some of the younger adults now as well spend hours and hours looking at their damn phone, which is no longer a phone, but it's a phone or iPad or whatever, but you're focusing on a screen. In other words, everything is like an up close vision. About every half hour, if you're doing that all the time, say if you're working on it with your computer and you're focusing on something close, every half hour you need to get away from that and look at something in the distance. You need to get both. If you don't use it, you lose it. You need to get distance as well as that screen up close. That's why we do that convergence. And then, to make it even better, you put your index finger up, focus on the index, and then focus on the distance object. Close, distant, close, distant, close, distant. One more. Close, distant. Okay. What else can we do? There are bigger muscles as well in the eye. What I do is I put my left hand on top of the head. I don't want the head to move. This is purely eye. Then I put that index finger up. Focus on the index finger. Bring it up to 12 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we go the opposite direction. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 12. So we're just moving the eye around. Now we can do it many other ways as well. You can do one eye at a time and hold that finger out to the side, up, down, other side, up, side, down, other side, other eye, same thing, up, side, down, cross, up, side, down, cross. So all those bigger muscles are moving that eyeball around, and you exercise them first in one direction, then you do the opposite direction, do about 10 of those. Now I know it's tedious, takes time, got to be patient. The heck, you got nothing else to do, right? You got to exercise your eyes. You're not going to change your eyes for the better so that you don't need glasses, but not at our age anyway, but it does help. And mention to your grandkids too, to use that distant vision as often as possible. Okay, so that is the eyes. The eyes. What else? They claim that by pulling on the ears, pulling on the pinna of the ear, that they're going to increase the blood flow to the ear. I think it just increases the blood flow to the pinna myself. I think it's baloney. But it's out there. It's out there. Also, the people who say that you can improve your hearing, feel a bone. That's called a mastoid bone, right at the end, right at the bottom of the pinna of the ear. And you just do circles around the bottom of that bone. 3, 4, 5, and then reverse that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I mentioned that you need the peripheral nerves as well. And the vagus nerve is the longest of all of the cranial nerves that we have. It affects the heart, affects all of the organs in the belly, the bladder, affects all of the organs. And it also goes out eventually to all of the peripheral nerves in the legs and in the arms. The vagus nerve. How can we influence the vagus nerve to calm things down so that it will be more reactive in the future? Again, exercise does seem to help. How can we influence it? Breathing. The old typical breathing technique. Taking a big breath in through your nose, holding it, and slowly breathing out. You should take twice as long to breathe out as it took to breathe in. So they call it either a 3-6 or a 4-8 breath. In other words, 3 or 4 seconds to breathe in, 6 or 8 seconds to breathe out. So let's just do one more. Notice that when I breathe out, I purse my lips so that it slows the breath going out. So that does, you take 3 or 4 of those, you're going to feel less anxious and you're going to influence that vagus nerve. Okay, that has to do all with balance. Now, osteoarthritis, the hands, because you're using your hands for everything. As we get older, a lot of people, I'd say probably 80% of people have osteoarthritis in the hands. And so, how can you tell if you have osteoarthritis? Well, the joints of the hands in the morning may be very stiff. You're not working as smoothly as usual. You may see a deformity, one going one way or another, and deformity may get a little worse. You may have pain in the joints. Now, the joints that are involved usually with osteoarthritis in the hand, first of all, the thumb. It's the joint that connects to the wrist, the metacarpal joint, right there. Also, the next one up, the next joint up. Those two are the joints that are usually involved with osteoarthritis because you're using the thumb for everything. In the other fingers, the most common joint involved is the second one down. Not the one out in the tip, but the second one down. You may see swelling of the joint. You may see a little deviation one way or the other, fixed deviation. For example, this finger here, you can see there's a little deviation. I think I broke that finger when I was a kid. I don't know why, but nevertheless, you see deviation. So that is common with osteoarthritis. What you want to do is to prevent the complications of osteoarthritis. You don't want it getting worse than what it is, so you need to exercise. And I know exercising, it may hurt a little bit, but by God, exercising and hurting a little bit is a heck of a lot better than what can happen if you don't exercise. So let's go over all the exercises that we can do to improve the arthritis in our hands. Good. Let's do it. Hold those hands out. Hold them out. Now there's a couple of different things that we can do. We can make a claw. In other words, you're bending and pulling in, making a claw. Then you can make a fist. Then you swim out, separating the fingers and pull it in. Claw, fist, swimming out, pulling it back in. Claw, fist, swimming out and in. One more time. Claw, fist, swimming out, pulling it in. Now those claws that you make, you can be very useful for exercises. You take your two claws, pull them together, bring your elbows up, pull them apart, pull them apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, what else can we do? You notice in a hand, right in the middle, there's a groove right in the middle of the hand. As time goes by, muscles will pull it in and deepen that groove. You don't want that to happen, because when the groove is deep, it weakens the fingers. The tendons are not going to glide as smoothly as they did before. So what can you do to try to flatten out that groove? You can put your hands down on the table, push it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's for that part of the groove. I hope you're getting this down, because all these exercises are important. What else can we do? Well, let's say that we want to, I want to go over, I don't want to miss any of these other things. Another thing too for the groove, make a fist with one hand, bring that fist into the palm of the other. Elevate your elbows, push it in. And 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do it with the other side as well. Elevate the elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, what else can we do? Well, we can spread them apart, pull them together, spread, pull, spread, pull, spread, pull, spread, pull. One more, spread and pull. Now, let's take the individual fingers, because I remember I mentioned the joints that are involved. We can exercise each joint. There are 2 tendons that come down for each finger. One goes to the outer joint. The next one comes out just below that. So there's 2 tendons that slide all the time through the palm of the hand. Okay. Now, assuming that they haven't been damaged or cut or anything in the past, we can exercise them. Well, I'm going to use I'm not going to do both hands, but because it takes a little time to show you the exercises, but I will use my right hand for the outer joint, and then we'll use the other hand for the middle joint, the first joint here, the knuckles and all, just by squeezing, you're getting that joint as well. So I'm not going to do that one, but we need to get those outer joints. First of all, whenever we're doing a joint stretch, you hold the phalanx, which is the bone, hold the bone below where you're going to be bending. So then we bend it down, bend it back, bend it down, bend it back, bend it down, bend it back, bend it down, and bend it back. Next finger, holding again, holding that bone. Bend it down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back. One more, down and back. Now the ring finger next. Down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back. One more, down, back. And then the fifth finger. Notice we're holding the others down, holding that bone, the phalanx, just under the joint. Down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back. One more, down, back. We didn't do the thumb. Gonna do the same thing with the thumb, holding the rest down, holding that bone underneath. Bend it down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, and back. Now for the next joint down, we're going to use the other hand. That way at least we get a little bit of activity in both hands. That's fine, you know. So first of all, the thumb. So we're going to hold on below the thumb, and bend it down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to hold on below the thumb again. I'm sorry, below the index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Below the joint again. Hold it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ring finger next, holding below. Got to get those out of the way. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that the fifth finger goes with it because the tendon splits up here. So it actually goes to both fingers. That's why you get both of them going down. So that involves now 1, 2, 3 joints, and then, of course, the thumb. That's not the only thing with the thumb. Hold that thumb up. Bring it in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Now we can also go other direction. Towards you, back, towards, back, toward, back, toward, back, towards, and back. Or we can circle. Big circle of the thumb. One direction, and then other direction. You could do the other fingers for a circle too, but you get the idea. Circles. Very good. Now, none of these exercises that we've done strengthen it. That's why I brought the ball with me, because we use the ball to strengthen, but also use the ball to stretch. For example, if we wanted to stretch out that groove in the center of the palm. We hold the ball on two sides, raise up the elbows, and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now also, we can use the individual fingers to squeeze on the ball. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. Turn it over, you got your other hand. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. One more. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and 5. Okay. What else can we do? Now we can move up a little bit to the wrist itself. First of all, holding that wrist out, hold above the wrist. Bring it back, bring it down. Back, down, back, down, back, down, back, and down. Now side to side. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's do the, and we can also do a circle with the wrist. Circle around and circle back. Those are all the motions of the wrist. Let's do the other side. Bring it back, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, back, and down. Side to side. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the circle. All the way down and around. And then reversed. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I think, oh, no, we still got a couple more to do. Hold that ball with the right hand. Support the ball. Now we're going to open a jar. Open the jar. Turning, at least trying to turn that jar. Just like that. And then we got to close the jar. Other direction. 2, 3. Let's do the other hand. Open that jar. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to close that jar. 1, 2, 3. And in. Okay. Now we're going to do the feet. There's small vessels or small muscles in the feet. So you got to do something with those. Put that ball on the floor. Onto the toe. Toe on the ball. Roll it out to the heel. Roll it back. Out to the heel. Roll it back. Out to the heel. And roll it back. Now put your foot on top of the ball. Point your toe. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. And flex. Now toe in. Toe out. In. Out. In. Out. In. And out. Now put the ball on the inside of the foot. Outside of the foot. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Get that ball up on top now. Foot on top of the ball. Make a circle now. Circle. And other direction. Circle. 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 Now you want to massage one of the arches of the foot. There's 3 arches in the foot. You got to roll that ball so that it goes right onto that arch and roll it back. So you're not going as far out. You're just massaging all the tendons underneath that foot. There are people who think that our arches are falling because of the shoes that we wear. They're all arches in all the shoes. And they advocate that when you're at home, you should take your damn shoes off, walk with your socks, use those arches. You want to tighten the arch, you put the foot down on the floor. First, put it down onto the toe, and then push down with the toe off, the heel off the floor. And then up on your toes, push. Up on your toes, and push. You're going to do that with the other side now. You're going to massage first, massage that foot, massage the foot, just like that. And then we're going to go inside, outside, inside, outside, just like that. And then we're going to do our circles. And 2, and 3, and reverse the circle. 2, and 3. Okay, just the toe. Push down with the toe. 1, 2, and 3. And then finally, we're going to have you go out. Straighten those hamstrings, because that's the calf muscle that you're stretching. You want a nice straight leg. And then once you do that on that side, you're going to roll the other one out. Straight leg. Push down on the... That's it. Push down on your kneecap. Get a nice straight leg. So, what we've basically done today is we've exercised the small muscles of the eye, which is very important, probably the most important of all. The eye. We've done the small fingers of the hand. We've done the wrist. We've done the feet. Okay, this is Dr. C. Have a good day.